Hello, and good morning from Vienna. You join me at this ungodly hour outside Wien Hauptbahnhof, or Vienna main station to anglicise it. I'm here to catch the first train of the day down to Graz, a journey which will see us travelling along the world-famous Semmeringbahn. But first, let's briefly check out the station, or at least what's open of it anyway. Now, I love the design of Wien Hauptbahnhof. The concourse is bright and spacious, and everything is clear and easy to find. Should you need to buy a ticket, you'll find the ÖBB ticket office, as well as those belonging to a couple of private operators by the main entrance. The departure boards are also very easy to understand. Looks like our train, which is the 0558 Railjet service to Graz Hauptbahnhof, already has a platform, so we'll head up there shortly. As with most trains in Austria, our service today will be operated by the national operator ÖBB. Despite it not even being 6 o'clock yet, I was both surprised and pleased to find that there were at least a couple of food outlets open, even this early. That said though, the ÖBB lounge doesn't appear to open until 6, which is a shame as I'm travelling on a first class ticket today, meaning I ordinarily would have been able to make use of this, but oh well. Anyway, the platforms can be accessed by this long passageway, with stairs, escalators and lifts available to take you up to platform level. Our train will be departing from platform 7 this morning. Wow, looks like our train is already here. As I touched on a moment ago, our ride up to Graz will be aboard one of ÖBB's railjet sets. These consist of a Siemens EuroSprinter locomotive, which ÖBB called Taurus, hauling 7 Siemens Viaggio comfort coaches. These railjet sets first entered service in 2008, and have also since entered service with the Czech national operator České dráhy. It's not uncommon to find the Czech sets operating between Vienna and Graz, as a lot of the services originate in Prague, although they are very similar to these Austrian sets. Railjet sets are configured in a push-pull configuration, meaning there's a control cab in the last passenger coach, negating the need for the locomotive to run around at terminus stations. Anyway, I think that's enough technical information for this time of the morning, so let's get on board. First class can be found at the end of the train, which is furthest from the locomotive. Now, there is actually a class above first class, which is called business class. You can sit here for a flat €15 supplement on top of the regular first class fare, and that is regardless of the length of your journey. Business class features more spacious seats, and I believe that you also get a welcome drink too. After the small business class section, we find first class, which features open saloon seating laid out in a 2+1 configuration. Now, in my opinion, these are some of the best first class seats out there. Legroom is really good, even for someone over 6 foot such as me. At each seat you'll find a tiny litter bin, as well as a footrest. There's also a seat back pocket, which contains, amongst other things that is, a menu for the dining car, which you'll find linked in the description below by the way. The tray tables are both large and sturdy, great for eating those dining car meals off of, or for getting some work done. Plug sockets can also be found at each and every seat. These seats feature a 2-stage recline system, similar to what you'll find on Deutsche Bahn's ICE trains. However, where these seats really shine for me is the comfort. They're really well shaped, and the leather upholstery provides for a very nice and classy experience. And lastly, you'll also find a reading light and a window blind, rounding off what is a fantastic seat. Right, just before we set off, I think we had better take a quick look at the route we'll be taking today. This morning's trip will see us heading southwest from Vienna to Graz, via the Alpine foothills and the Semmeringbahn. Scheduled travel time today is 2 hours and 36 minutes. And we depart Wien Hauptbahnhof on time at 2 minutes to 6.
Werte Gäste, the next Aufenthalt in Kürze. In a few minutes we will arrive for our next stop, Wien, Meidling.
After a brief stop at Wien Meidling, it's full speed ahead towards the Semmeringbahn and Graz. These railjet sets are actually capable of some pretty impressive speeds, being rated for up to 230 km an hour or 143 miles per hour. However, we won't be going quite that fast today, topping out at around 160 km an hour or 100 miles an hour. Right, time for a wander. Now, I've only ever really seen this on these railjet trains, that being this little information booth. That said, it never seems to be manned, although you can find newspapers on offer here, although obviously only in German. In the last part of first class, you'll find some accessible seating, including spaces for wheelchair users. Directly next to this, you'll find the dining car that I mentioned earlier. As dining cars go, it is a little on the small size, although I believe it's possible for first and business class passengers to have their meals served at their seats should they wish to do so. Moving beyond the dining car, we have economy class, which is the second class offering. The seats here are perfectly fine in my opinion. If you've ever travelled on one of the refurbished GWR or ScotRail HST sets in the UK, they're very similar to the standard class seats that you'll find on those. These trains do also feature a quiet coach and a family coach. Now, I love the idea of a family coach, as it means families travelling with young kids don't have to worry about their children disturbing other passengers, allowing for a more relaxed journey for everyone. And at the very front of the train, you'll find several bicycle spaces. However, you will need a bicycle reservation to use these, which incurs an extra charge. Wow, talk about a loo with a view. A sign of things to come, maybe? Besides the abundance of spectacular scenery, I was pleased to find that everything in here was clean, well stocked, and in good working order. On the way back to my seat, I grabbed this small coffee to kickstart my brain. While it was a bit on the pricey side, it was certainly nice enough and just what the doctor ordered. Well, it doesn't take long for the views to really start to pick up. Not only because it's now light, but we have now joined the northeastern end of the Semmeringbahn. The Semmeringbahn runs for some 41 kilometres or 25.5 miles from Glognitz via the town of Semmering to Mörzuschlag. I really hope I'm saying that last one right. The line was built between 1848 and 1854 and has deservedly been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1998. The Semmeringbahn is soon set to be bypassed more or less entirely by the Semmering Base Tunnel, which is currently under construction, but more on that in a bit. For now, I think I'll keep my trap shut and allow you to enjoy the views.
umsteigen und wünsche noch einen schönen Tag. Auf Wiedersehen. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we will arrive. Our next stop, Zuschlag. For any further connections, please...
As we approach the town of Zuschlag, we catch a glimpse of what will soon be the western portal of the Semmering base tunnel. The 27km or 17-mile long tunnel is set to open in 2030 at an estimated cost of 3.9 billion euros. The tunnel will allow for extra capacity between Vienna and Graz, particularly for freight trains. The tunnel will also cut journey times between Austria's two largest cities by around half an hour, although it will also unfortunately mean not getting to experience the spectacular scenery that the Semmeringbahn has to offer. That said though, as far as I'm aware at least, there are no plans to close the Semmeringbahn, even when the tunnel is fully operational.
Our terminal station, Graz Hauptbahnhof.
Around half an hour out of Graz, we arrive at our penultimate cooling point of Bruck an der Mur. Now for me, this has been a fantastic journey. These railjet trains are great, even after over 10 years in service. They really have stood the test of time, although I believe that they are set to be refurbished soon, so it'll be interesting to see what that brings to them. As for the scenery, well, it's nothing short of spectacular. If you ever find yourself staying in Vienna for a few days, I'd highly recommend doing a day trip on the train out to Graz, as not only will you get to witness all of those spectacular views, but Graz itself is also a very nice city to visit. And the tickets are really good value too, starting at around 15 euros for economy class, and 5 euros extra for first class. So, a trip I'd certainly recommend. However, what did you make of this one? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And we finally pull into Austria's second largest city, Graz, on time at around 25 to 9, where I can already see my connecting train, the Transalpine, which is waiting to hoist me away to Switzerland. You'll find a link to that one in the top right corner of the screen now.
Graz Hauptbahnhof. Dieser Zug befindet sich auf dem... This train ends here.
Right, I'm off to go and sit in the lounge here at Graz, as I now have about an hour to kill until my train leaves. However, in the meantime, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as all of them help me out immensely. Special thanks, as always, goes to my fantastic patrons and channel members. If you want to join them in supporting the channel from just £1, dollar, or euro per month, then you'll find the relevant links in the description below. With that, all that's left for me to say is thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all next Friday.